Well, I've got to open with giving Clemson obviously a lot of credit. I thought they played a very, very good football game tonight, and you know, it was a hard-fought game on both sides, and you know, they're an extremely talented football team, and they did a nice job coaching tonight. I'm very proud of our guys, and you know, we had our chances to win the game, and we didn't get it done. It's that simple. And so I think, you know, you could point to, you know, several factors in there, obviously, that I'm sure that you'll ask me about here shortly. But you know, defensively, we couldn't get off the field. We had a very explosive offense and very quick tempo. Got some really good players, and the quarterback is extremely talented. And you know, with critical times in the game, you know, I felt like they made the plays and we didn't defensively, and we had our chances. Offensively, we wanted to run the football, and I thought we were at times doing that fairly well. But you know, overall, you know, our guys, you know, fighting down to the end is exactly what we expected them to do. And I'm very proud of them for doing that. And you didn't see any long faces on the sideline. We certainly went through our peaks and valleys during the game. And, you know, we'll learn a lot. You know, one of the great things about playing in a game like this early in the season is that I think you have a very good idea of not only where you are at this moment, but where you need to go. And we've got a long way to go, as we all saw. But, again, I thought we played very hard down to the end of the game, and Clemson made the plays when we were not able to. So I think it's that simple.
All right, ready for questions? We'll start right here.
Do you think that Clemson was capable of putting 528 yards up into defense?
I'm not really sure what I was thinking Clemson is capable of doing. You know, they've had a lot of success on offense, you know, last year, and you know, they played very well tonight.
We're going right here in front.
Coach, your defensive line got a lot of pressure on Taj Boyd, but what was it on third downs where Boyd and Clemson was able to just keep the chains moving?
Well, I think that's where he really, I feel like, you know, that's where he changed the game. I mean, there was many times when, you know, we actually had him in our grasp, and he just made fantastic plays to get out of it. I don't know exactly what they'll look like till tomorrow morning. But he made some fantastic plays to get those critical first downs at those critical times and keep those chains moving. And that was part of the reason we couldn't get off the field. But you know, he's an exceptional football player, and he plays with a lot of confidence. And we were getting pressure on him early. There was no question about that. And as the game, you know, wore on, and we needed to have those same type of plays in the fourth quarter, we just couldn't seem to come up with those.
Where are we going, guys? Right here.
Yeah, Coach, Ellington had 231 yards tonight. Are you prepared for that kind of explosiveness from that back?
Well, you know, we knew he was an extremely talented young man. We played against him for 3 years now, and you know, he had a great night. You know, there was times we took bad tackling angles. There was times when we hit him, and he's got great balance, and you know, he kept his balance and continued on the run. But you know, I felt like as the game went on, he got stronger. I didn't see him miss a beat, and so my hat's off to the young man. He's a fantastic football player.
You just talk about Kyle's first game as a starter.
Very proud of Kyle, and you know, when you start your first football game at quarterback, you know, there's a lot of pressure that you put on yourself, and I thought all the circumstances, you know, that happened in the game with the different flows of the game, and some of the throws he made were really nice throws. Some of the times, you know, he was escaping out there and, you know, getting some critical first downs. I think overall, you know, we'll look back at the film and we'll see, you know, a lot of things he needs to correct. But overall, I was very proud of his performance, and you know, I feel strong that he'll only get better.
Okay, right here in front.
Coach, a lot of questions coming into this game about the youth on the offensive line. You substituted in a new center this week. How do you think they did without watching the film?
Without watching the film, I felt like they really did a nice job. And I know that we had some pressure in there that, you know, that obviously we would have loved to, you know, keep a little better handle on, especially on third downs. But running the football and protecting our quarterback a high percentage of the time was, I thought, was done really well, especially when you're playing with a new center. And, but, you know, you look at two tackles over there, a redshirt freshman, a true freshman, opening their first game of their career against a team like this who's got very, very good players. You know, my first impression without watching it is, you know, they did well.
Right here in front.
What do you think the biggest positives are coming out of tonight's game?
Well, I think that we played a very good football team and still had a chance to win it at the end. I mean, you know, I saw a lot of positives out there. Now, let me tell you, I'm as disappointed as anybody that we lost the game. But our special teams play was exactly what we had envisioned. When we chose not to kick it out of the end zone, our idea was to hit it inside the 20, and we did. Our punting game was exactly what we thought it would be in terms of changing field position. You just look at Cody Parkey and the protection he got on the field goals. You know, we feel like that's a strength of our team. You know, there was nothing new for our special teams. We've been doing these same things for 4 years. So I thought that was very positive. But I'm going to tell you, our guys fought all the way down to the end. We never saw the long looks. We never saw the, oh, wow, what do we do now? For a team that played, you know, against another good football team tonight in an opening game, I think there's a lot of positives.
Right here.
Coach, new defensive coordinator, 528 total yards that Clemson was able to put up. Was it a breakdown schematically, or was it a breakdown in the execution of the defense?
Well, I think the tempo of the game was faster than our guys were. I'm not going to say faster than we were prepared for. We knew that it would be fast. But I think it, in our secondary right now, cost us some leverages, different leverages that we were supposed to be playing. And, you know, I think, from a defensive perspective, you aligning right at the beginning of the play is very crucial. You know, as they started to wear the game down in the last 5 minutes when they decided they were going to run the ball, you know, I thought we had a couple of misfits on the run. And again, some bad approach angles from our guys when we were tackling. Nobody wants to get 528 yards put on them. I mean, there's no question about that. And but we'll go back and we'll look at it very carefully. And you know, our guys know that we're very displeased with that, and we'll look at all the reasons why tomorrow.
Okay, right here.
You can talk about Trey Mason, his game after that fumble. He really came back in the second half and played pretty well.
He did. He was very disappointed in the fumble. And, you know, ball security is something that, you know, that we have to be able to do, or there's no way we can win games. I mean, there's just not. So that was a, you know, we were driving the football, we were running the ball. We were, you know, working towards some really, really good field position. And, you know, we let that get away from us. But he came back after that and wasn't fazed by it and continued to run the ball. And all of our young guys are going to have to be able to do that, get in there and run the football. And so I think overall, if you take that fumble away, you know, if you take the fumble away, I think his overall performance was not bad.
Okay, back here in the back.
Coach, you talk about your experience opening the season here in the kickoff game with the neutral site, bowl-like atmosphere, and what excited you about that?
Well, I just, for our fans and our players, it's an exciting way to start the year. It's different, you know, it's just different. And again, I really enjoyed it. I think the players really enjoyed it, and didn't necessarily enjoy the outcome. But I know playing in a game like this and this type of atmosphere is very exciting for our fans and our kids. So I'm really glad to see that we were able to get this done.
Right here.
Coach, how do you rate the Hopkins catch at 9-17 in this end zone? How do you rate that play over what seems?
Can you repeat that question,
How do you rate
please?
that play, Hopkins catch in the end zone at 9-17 in the game?
I thought it was a great catch. I thought that they ran the fade down there, and the quarterback made a great throw, and he made a great catch.
Back right here.
Could that have been a difference maker?
Pardon me?
Could that have been a difference maker tonight?
Well, I would say that there's you know, in most games, you can't say that one play made the difference. It's probably a play somewhere in the drive that got them down there, so I wouldn't say that.
Coach, the play of transfer Jay Prosh, having a fullback, kind of a throwback position in college football right now. How did he do, first of all, and how is he going to fit into your running game for the rest of the year?
Well, you know, I'm very proud of Jay, and he, you know, again, without seeing the film, it appeared that he, you know, he played well. And but having a guy like that on your team, he brings so many other factors to your team, and you know, he's been a big been a big asset for us. So again, I'm sure he like the rest of our team will continue to improve.
Back here in the middle.
Gene, some of those drives that Kyle, you guys got down in the red zone, it looked like Kyle was overthrew a couple, held it a little bit too long. Do you think he was pressing or trying to make that perfect throw? Or?
Well, you know, there's all kinds of reasons down there. I mean, I can't really recall how much pressure he might have had, or you know, on him or not. You know, how much push he got, you know, up in his face. But we definitely had some throws that we'd like to get back. You know, the one on with Trevon Reed was, you know, we just hoped he would have got 1 foot, you know, in bounds, and that was tough. You know, that was a touchdown. That was a great call. You know, we'll see how close he was, and if he could have physically gotten his foot in the ground. But you know, but we did make some miscues down there. It cost us touchdowns, and we had to go a field goal.
Do you have to score touchdowns in a game like this?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to score touchdowns down there. There's no question.
All right, we got time for 2 more. We're going to go right here.
You know, Dowell had to suspend his best player, you know, for a huge game like this. And I know, you know, the coach, that's a difficult thing to do, but you know, apart from the fact that he beat you, the fact that his guys stepped up, you know, how much respect you gain for, you know, for a team that's able to do that when their best player goes out for disciplinary reasons, they're able to rally like that?
I don't know that it's a matter of respect. You know, everybody runs their program differently, and if that's what he chose to do, then you know that's what he thought was in the best interest of his program. So I don't judge one way or the other. I worry about Auburn.
Okay, right here in front.
Based on what you saw tonight, is this team ready for the SEC schedule?
We have 1 week to find out. But I think that, you know, we have a lot of great building blocks to build on for next week, and we'll obviously go to Starkville and have a very, very tough game next Saturday morning. So we're going to go back to work, and you know, we'll be ready for next week.
Final question, right?
Coach, the job Darren Bates did with you looked like he was banged up a little bit, got that key interception.
You know, Darren's a tough guy. You know, he plays through. You know, he plays through injury. You know, the bumps and bruises of the game really don't affect him. He made a big interception down there that was huge, and you know, he's one of those guys that just kept playing through the game, and you know, he was banged up, and but again, you know, that's how much. I think that's just kind of a commercial for how much I appreciated the guys and what they did in terms of how hard they played and never quit playing. And here's a guy that was beat up and banged up and made a big play at the end that could have, you know, that helped change the complexion of the game.